Hello, Billy Squire fans. I'm Kevin Ripa, and this is my SANS 3 Minutes Max. Up to now, we've talked about symmetric encryption, asymmetric encryption, hashing. Why? Well, because we need that to move forward. Symmetric, the key that locks is the same key that unlocks. Asymmetric encryption, public key, private key, two different keys, mathematically linked. Key that if I encrypt it with my private key, only my public key will unlock it, and vice versa. Then we talked about hashing. We put input in, we run it through an algorithm. Our output is a fixed length thing called a hash. As long as that hash doesn't change between my data here and my data there, the data hasn't changed. But let's see how we're going to take all of that, put it together to talk about our goals of cryptography. So our goals of cryptography, there's 4 of them. The first one that we're interested in is confidentiality. We need to, and then we want to talk about authentication. Then we need integrity, and then we need non-repudiation. Confidentiality means that the message is not readable to anybody other than the person I sent it to. In authentication, it verifies the identity of the person or the system that sent the message. Integrity ensures that the message that was sent is the message that was received. And non-repudiation means that the person who sent the message can't deny sending the message. Okay? So those are the 4 goals. We use symmetric encryption to achieve confidentiality. We use asymmetric encryption to get our authentication. Then we use the hash to get our integrity. And then we use asymmetric encryption and hashing to get our non-repudiation. In other words, we're going to create a digital signature. So here are the variables that we have to go through. So we have Alice and Bob, and they both have the secret key. So there's no problems that we don't have to share the key. Maybe Alice knows Bob, but Bob doesn't have the secret key. Well, they got to exchange the secret key somehow. Remember, that key that that encrypted our message, that symmetric key, how do they exchange it? Well, again, if Alice knows Bob, but Bob doesn't have the key, they got to exchange it somehow. Either they got to physically trade it, they got to email it to each other, which isn't very secure, or they could set up a secure channel. In other words, I put that secret key in 2 routers, and I send one to Alice and one to Bob. They plug it in, the key is at both ends. Everything is great. But what if Alice doesn't know Bob? They never knew of each other's existence, like you shopping at Amazon. How does that encrypted session start? Well, somehow Alice and Bob have to exchange this secret key. So how do they do it? Through the use of something called this secure channel. But how do we get the secure channel? Well, before we can talk about how to get the secure channel, let's talk about some of the steps, some of the things that are used to create encryption, to encrypt a message. That's the next episode, though. So in the meantime and in between time, that's it. Another episode of 3 Minutes Max.